Buenos noches, damas y caballeros. As you can see, I'm just barely getting started and seeing interesting things to videotape. Right here is the very famous castle, or as I would maybe call it, a fortress in Cartagena, Colombia. And my hotel is literally just a block away across the street from this fort. So today, what I'm going to do, I have a mission. I'm going to a place that Anthony Bourdain, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with from his travel show where he eats all kinds of different foods all around the world. It was a show that I really enjoyed. I was becoming a big fan. Unfortunately, he passed away in one way or another. Controversy on that, of course. But anyhow, Anthony Bourdain a few years ago went to a tiny little restaurant in an area called Bazurto, and he went to this little restaurant called Cecelia'S restaurant, and it's in a giant maze of vendors selling all kinds of different fruits and vegetables and fish and this and that and the other thing, and it looked like half the fun getting to Cecelia'S was winding through these narrow corridors in this maze of a market that's quite huge. And so I actually went there 2 days ago, but my memory card was acting all glitchy, and so I couldn't use my GoPro. So I used my iPhone, and I'm right by a pretty busy road, in case you're wondering what all the noises about behind me. Anyway, I had to use my phone. I wasn't very happy with the video. I even got a photo with Cecilia, and I tried a combination of, I asked her to give me a combination of her favorite things, which she did. And so I'm going to go back there again today with my GoPro. I'm going to show you exactly how to get there, because getting there in the first place is half the fun and half the battle. And I'll do my best to videotape as much as I can in the market, because again, it's very colorful. There's colorful characters working there as well. But I have to add that the people running the hotel where I'm staying at, they did caution me and say that it was dangerous. So not dangerous in that I'm going to likely get robbed at gunpoint or something like that, but probably more along the lines of somebody, a pickpocket, something like that. Because there is a lot of people there, but there really isn't any police around in that particular area. This is a poorer neighborhood, and so one always has to be cautious in any poor neighborhood, whether you're in Canada, United States, or Colombia. And so I will be exercising caution, and I'll have my camera when I feel it's safe to do so. If not, well then I won't. Never worth somebody trying to grab my camera out of my hand and running off with it. That's probably more of my biggest concern than anything else. So anyhow, I'm going to show you exactly how to get there, and what you're going to first do, if by chance you're walking from the castle, which I'm going to do, is you're going to be walking along this really main street right here, and it's actually quite easy to get to the market, because you literally just walk along this one major street to get there. But once you get to the market, once you find it, and finding it is a little bit tricky. So once we get closer to it, I'll give you some clues as to what you need to look for. So I can tell you that I was told it would take about 15 minutes to get there by walking, but no, as per usual, you double it. It's more like a half an hour, and of course that is that was me going at a pretty good walking clip as well. Cartagena is pretty hot. Last time I used my umbrella, but I'm gonna go without this time. And so let's get going to Mercado Bazurto and Cecelia'S restaurant here in Cartagena, Colombia. Vamos! The funny thing about this neighborhood is that on one side of the castle, the other side, that's where you got all your tourists and everything congregating, but on the other side it's kind of a bit of a sketchy area. See all the garbage. It's down this street here, it's kind of a little sketchy looking, but first thing I want to point out is you're going to be heading towards, see that building on the top of the hill there? I believe that's called Monastery Boston Monastery. So you're going to be walking right by that, and it'll be on your left as you walk by it. So that's your first landmark where you're going to walk. Okay, so you'll be going by this banged up sign here, Estación La Copa, and there's the bus station right there. So you do have the option of catching a bus. Probably cost you like not even $1 to get here. You'd be there in 5 minutes, but I like walking, getting exercise, and also seeing what stores and things are along the way. You could also go on the back of a motorcycle, be there in 5 minutes. Alright, so the monastery up on the hill is to my exact left right now, and coming up is another train or bus station, sorry. Cartagena. Looks like Cartagena has its fair share of homeless people. Okay guys and gals, I'm at the entrance to the market. You'll see El Golaz, Kimbara, right across the street. And the Bazurto bus station was just a block back that way. And this is what it looks like. It kind of goes off to an angle like this. So let's go, hopefully discreetly and safely. So there's the first right that I didn't take. But just by my intuition, the first time I took this second right here, where there's a bunch of limes. I don't know if it's the same vendors that set up in the same spot. Where are you from, man? Hola, Canada! Friendly people. Anyhow, some are open, some aren't. You're going to walk this way for a little while. I'm going to keep the focus on me so people don't think I'm pointing the camera at them too often. And one thing I should mention about Cecilia is that it's pretty obvious that she's a very humble person, not looking for any attention. So I don't even think she likes getting photos taken with people necessarily, but she does anyways because she's a nice person. So this little spot right here, this is where I asked for directions yesterday, and they just said, I'm going to turn the camera around here. They said walk towards the lagoon, which I didn't know where the lagoon was, so. Now if you were actually here, you'd smell all kinds of interesting things, and interesting odors. Okay, so watch for Abastos, Gran Esquina right there. You're gonna keep going. As I was saying about the odors, there's nice smells, like fish frying and food, and then there's garbagey smells. As you can see, there's quite a lot of garbage on the street. A little quiet down this way. And so I think we're getting pretty close to where I'm gonna have to turn right. Okay, so I'm gonna show you just again for clarity's sakes where you're going to go here. Okay, watch for this chicken. Watch for the chicken. And then just right over there, you'll see all the cranes, or the whatever you call them, for the containers. And there's a lagoon that you can just probably barely see the water right over there. You're gonna be taking a right here. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a quicker and easier way to go, because in fact, now I'm gonna be walking that way for quite a bit. And this is where it gets more confusing once I get into the maze just up here. But this is the way that I went before. And probably the only reason I was able to find this place is because there's a guy working here. And you'll see in a moment here one of these red kind of overall uniforms. And I asked a group of them where Cecelia'S was, another thing you'll ask for is where the pescados fritos, the fried fish area. And so this young guy was really nice, and he took me literally all the way there to Cecelia'S. But like I say, if he would have said, well, go right and take a left at the potato stand, I would have never found it probably. It's not that it's a lot of rights and lefts and everything, but it's still confusing to know where to turn. Alright, so going right inside here. Buenos dias. And then along this very narrow alleyway here, pretty dark. Okay, so going along this narrow alley. It'll be very light and dark, so the camera probably doesn't like that too much, but not much I can do. So at this point we're treaded through some I think it's about, I don't know, only a minute walk. As you can see, there's some fish. When I say fish, pescado. We're going to keep going. I don't know if I'm going to recognize the exact turn or not, but hopefully I will. Might be it here. I'm going to try this way right here. I think it might be a little further, but I'm going to try it. I have a feeling this might not be the right way. Definitely don't remember going through this little narrow. Nope. That's the wrong way. A little further. So I'll turn back on when I get back to that corner where I made the wrong turn. Okay. I think I'm going to need to turn where that woman in the red dress just came from. Okay, let's give this a try here. I know that I'm close. Somewhere down to the left. Either this block or the one before it. This looks like it might be it right over here. So I Yeah, this is it. Cecilia. That is Cecilia right over there in the light colored apron. So let's go check out the food. ¿Qué es eso aquí?
Camarón abajeño.
Okay.
Picón de tiburón. Asadura de cerdo. Esta es asadura de cerdo. La víscera del cerdo.
Pienso que quisiera cerdo con arroz.
Arroz cerdo. Aunque ya.
Bueno, gracias. Alright, so it was nice to see her fill her mask today, smiling. And I took a photo with her. You can see if she's smiling. It's one thing I hate about masks among many things, but this is it. Just a tiny little place, tiny little restaurant. I'm here early. I think it's maybe 11:30, 11:45. I wanted to make sure I had a good shot of all the bins full, because yesterday by the time I got around to eating and then showing the bins, there was a couple that were really empty, so you didn't know what was in them. But you can see them bubbling away. And there's another part of the seating over there. And the other thing I should mention is that when I was here 2 days ago, I asked for a combination plate, as I mentioned earlier, and she gave me, it also had shrimp, fish. There we go already. Muchas gracias. There we go. Big pile of rice.
La mama.
Salad, platano, purple platano, with some kind of thing on it. So anyway, I was just going to finish off. I had a combination plate that I let Cecilia pick out, and it was mostly different fishes, shrimps, those kind of more expensive stuff. So I was charged 20,000 pesos, which is about $7.80 Canadian, 7 US, thereabouts. So again, for what I actually got, it's a decent price. This should be more like around 8,000 pesos, I think, which is about $3.20. Alright, let's dig in, give it a try, and I'll show it. What's kind of funny is see that big group of people walking by. There's different little restaurants here, of course, not just Cecelia'S. So they're all competing for the the people for the restaurant. Shouting out the names of the restaurant. Come eat here, come eat here. See, even Cecelia'S doing the hustle. Still working hard, trying to get customers. Venga, venga, come. A la orden. That's your service, basically. Come on, Cecilia. One thing you're always going to get from me is an honest view of things. When I was here 2 days ago, the fish was actually kind of dry. And I can't say, as I put it before, Chef Ramsay probably would pick it all apart. But this is actually a lot nicer dish. The pork's actually really tender. There's fat on it, the rice is good. The salad, well, that's just a bunch of lettuce with a little bit of onion. And the plantain is really delicious. So I'm actually enjoying this meal more than I did the combination one. These people are still trying to decide. Maybe they don't realize that they're in the midst of somebody Bourdain show, Anthony Bourdain show. And she's still doing the work. She just poured a bag of barbecue coals in there, and now she's stirring them up and still working hard. plate is finished. I'm good and full. So, sum things up. You don't necessarily come here because you're looking for a 5-star dining experience. Obviously, it isn't that the food isn't super spectacular. It's all about the experience. Coming to a really cool place, somewhere unique, and seeing what the locals are really living like. Why did Anthony Bourdain and his crew choose Cecelia'S restaurant? Was it fate? Was it luck? I don't know. I mean, there's restaurants on all sides. Why here? I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the presentation. They have all the pots up front. Again, I'm not sure. But whatever the case, it's cool to see somebody who's probably just been working hard for their entire life doing this, getting a little bit of recognition of it, you know, and having a lot of people come from maybe literally all around the world to visit this place, and again, try and find this tap fun. So I totally encourage you to give it a whirl if you're in Cartagena. Bueno, gracias señora. ¿Cuánto es hoy?
8.000.
¿Cómo? 8,000. Entonces me gustaría tener una para llevar y el mismo pero sin ensalada. Gracias. But I spoke good Spanish. So this is the way I came yesterday, and I got lost trying to find my way out of here, to be quite honest with you. And today, yes, it is 8,000 pesos, which is what I said earlier, about 3 something. So that's more of a good deal today. Shrimp smells really good. And that there, that's the fish that I had yesterday. Like you said, it was a little bit dry. Maybe it's because it's sitting around a little bit too long. But it looks like there's more sauce in there right now, so I think it probably tastes better. A couple different kinds of rice. Getting noisier now. Must be officially lunchtime now. People like their hot sauce here. Sometimes it takes a while to get changed. Estoy curioso para saber cuántos años tú has ido aquí, por cuántos años. 30. 30? Wow. Muchas. Bueno, muchas gracias. All right, let's see if we can find our way out of this maze. Heavy looking cart. Look at the size of this big truck coming right to this narrow market full of onions and potatoes. Just to show you some of the maize. Yeah, I mean, you just never know what you're going to find from one corner to the next. Now I'm kind of on the edge of it, I guess, so I'll make my way back in there, but you can see some places are open and some aren't. I'm guessing that some open up a little bit later on after it isn't quite so hot. Well, that's where I got my fruit yesterday. The one that I can't remember the name of it, but the guy helped me find a particular exotic fruit, and he led me to that guy right there. And later on, I'm going to get Boyd running over here. Later on, I'll show you what the fruit looks like and try to describe what it tastes like too. That's a little difficult because it has its own unique taste. But it's pretty yummy. And fortunately, I made my way back to where I started on the main street here. Hola, amigo. You guys said hello earlier. So I'm back where I showed you the offset. Lots of motorcycles waiting over here for if you need a ride back to wherever it is that you're going. Another fish area there. I'm just exploring at this point, looking for anything interesting. Sleeping people. The alley looks kind of lively. Lots of low-hanging tarps.
Habla.
The little shopping carts are obviously very popular here. Hopefully I won't get lost again. What I'm looking for, what I wouldn't mind finding is some juice, natural juice, maybe coco de agua or something. Why not?
¿Hacia dónde?
One thing I'd like to mention before I sign off is that I actually feel pretty safe here. People are obviously looking at me because I'm a little different. I don't mind that at all. So don't be afraid to come to Mercado Bazurto and check this interesting market out. Get a flavor for Cartagena, and I'm sure you'll be glad you did. Alright, damas y caballeros, I will end this video where I started it. Hope you enjoyed this adventure to Cecelia'S in the crazy maze, Bazurto, or as I call it, Mercado Bazurto. I'm going to walk back to the Castillo area. Very noisy. tacos. And remember, there's no you in Colombia, so hopefully you'll be able to come here and enjoy Colombia someday. All right, before I totally forget, this is the fruit that Anthony Bourdain tried when he was in the Bazurto market, and it's called Cayanito. And as you can see, it's got about 5 big black seeds in the middle there that you don't eat, and then what you do is you eat that white stuff, which is pretty tasty. It's it's really good and not too sweet. I don't know how to describe it because it doesn't really taste like any other fruit. And what ended up happening was when I was in the market at Bazurto, I thought that when I asked how much I can get for 4,000 pesos, which is only like $1.70, I thought he said 2. So I said, well, how much can I get for 2? Can I get one for 2,000 pesos? Anyway, I might be getting this a little bit confused. The bottom line was that I think I gave him 4,000 pesos, and he proceeded to fill this bag full of about a dozen of these. So got a dozen of these for not even $2 Canadian.